What a banger intro.
Il Predestinato Charles Leclerc.
Let's go.
No idea what's going on, but okay.
Uh, Welcome
Did we
everyone.
have a race? Did we have a race? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, you only saw 3 laps, right? For you, only 3 laps existed. All right. Welcome everyone to Sports with Sardarji and Friends F1 stream. It's been a while, but also it's been a while since we had an F1 race, right? We had about a 4 week break after the last. What is in the last race? I forgot what the last race was before
Singapore.
the US.
Singapore.
Singapore
Though
was an
it's
race.
worth forgetting Singapore because that race was so boring that everyone, even the drivers,
Yeah.
was sleepy.
Man, that race was so boring. That race was so boring. We didn't do a post-race stream.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. What? No safety car for the in 11 years or something, right?
Yep.
11 races,
But
dude,
yeah.
not 11 years.
No, it's
But
Singapore.
no,
Yeah,
in
Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah, Singapore is
So
useless, dude.
yeah, after that snooze fest in Aniket's adopted home, we had a banger. We had an absolute certified banger in Austin.
Bangers.
Where Yep, that's right, Alabia. We had a certified banger where Lewis Hamilton lasted 3 laps.
Is that important to mention? Why do you want to start off with that? I don't understand.
That's
however,
what she said.
There's so many things to
regardless,
talk about.
regardless of Lewis Hamilton lasting 3 laps, yeah, we saw a return to form of
Hmm.
Ferrari, right? On a weekend where teams, got upgrades and everybody talking about Red Bull this and McLaren that. Charles Leclerc is like, screw your rivalry, screw
Hmm.
your World Driver Championship fight. We
Hmm.
are taking a 1-2 bitches.
Hold my beer. Hold your beers. Hold your horses because this
Yeah,
handsome horse is gonna just take the show.
hold my
It's
beer
literally
because
a
this
prancing horse.
win the
So yeah.
race.
Yeah, man. What a drive. What a drive from lap one till the last lap.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, there is this thing that Charles Leclerc has won the same number of races as
uh,
Lando Norris when Lando Norris starts from pole.
exactly. I mean, like Lando starting on pole and Tottenham reaching some final, right? It's equivalent. It's useless. They just dropped it.
But we
They
should
dropped
talk about Ferrari and how good their car was this weekend. Like
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
right
yeah,
from the practice sessions, they've been the fastest car over race pace, and
yeah.
also even
Ferrari is strong all weekend, right? Of course, the
yeah.
sprint was won by Aniket's favorite driver, Max Verstappen. Uh,
So even in the sprint, the reason they did not come close to Verstappen and Norris, I mean they got Norris in the end, Leclerc did, but or Sainz
yeah,
did. But the reason they did not come close to Verstappen was they were stuck behind Russell. Me and Alabia were doing the watch along, so they were stuck
right,
behind
right.
Russell for a long time, and that's the reason they did not come close.
Yeah,
But they had good pace in that sprint race as well.
yeah.
But also,
Just before.
I think all weekend, the Red Bull was, I think, generally strong on the mediums and the softs, right? Even in the race, the
Hmm.
first stint, Max was kind of keeping up, but then I think just fell off. And I don't know, this Leclerc, yeah, that Ferrari just turned on another gear in the race, man. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunday,
Before we jump into like the entire Ferrari,
yeah,
let's just give Russell a shout out, starting from pit lane and ending on a P6 above Red Bull's Checo Perez. I mean, seriously, like, I mean, what on earth is Checo Perez doing?
wait, Checo who?
Checo Perez,
I have no idea.
Checo,
Who is
But
he
yeah,
who is
just,
that's.
Checo? But
But I know a
um,
good quick shout out to Russell. Obviously, he did a good job.
he
But
did a
I think we
brilliant
should
job. Yeah,
come back to the Ferraris now in terms of how they manage the race. What happened on
like,
Yeah,
lap one? Can somebody describe lap one for me? What happened there?
yeah. So
oh,
lap one, Lando Norris starts from pole. Hold on, why my camera go away? Anyway,
Your camera
uh,
went away like Lewis Hamilton went away in 3 laps.
So
Yeah.
We are
yeah,
still.
anyway, while my camera decides to come back, so yeah, lap one, yeah, I mean, Lando actually got a good start, right? And
Hmm.
then um,
He was trying to
Lando was
cover.
leading. Yeah,
He
Max.
was trying
Lando
to
was
cover.
leading. Lando was leading. He was trying to cover Max Verstappen,
Hmm.
and then remember that race in Silverstone a couple of years ago, Aniket. We when we got the famous dialogue, "Through goes Hamilton."
Yeah, that's what
This
happened.
time, if you
Yeah.
hear the sky feed, if you hear the sky feed, Crofty had the exact same reaction, like, "Through goes the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc."
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And then since then, right, since passing the leaders in the first turn, Leclerc never looked back.
Yeah,
No, I mean, firstly, Charles was waiting to see what's happening ahead of him. So he was very opportunistic there. He got that move. He quickly sorted out, and then he just, as you said, Alabia, he didn't look back. And he had good race pace. Also, the Ferrari never looked like it was being threatened at any time by Red Bull, McLaren, and also then he got Science as well. Science was able to undercut Verstappen. Uh, you know, Sainz was able to first get Norris on lap one, and then he undercut Verstappen later on in the
Yeah,
pits. So that became a
in this
Ferrari
was
1-2
the
then, and they were
right.
able to
first
easily
turn
maintain.
one, right? This
And
was
if
the
you're
first.
talking about turn one, I have no idea how Max Verstappen did not get a penalty for this. I mean, you can see the image, like he's not turning the car, he's like going straight
Okay.
on and
No, no.
pushing Lando.
To be fair, Aniket, turn one, like generally the first few turns, the stewards go pretty easy on any driver, not just Max Verstappen.
No, I understand, but look at where Verstappen is compared to the Ferraris, and I don't know. Like he was deliberately
Yeah,
trying to get Lando, but he pushed Lando off track. And
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and as we know later on, Lando got a penalty for overtaking outside of the track. When that was also, suspicious. I would say like a very controversial decision to give him that 5 seconds time penalty, which
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, it's like it's more like you overtake outside the track limits, you get a penalty,
yeah.
but like you can defend and go off the track. So there's a penalty. There's no penalty for defending off the track, but yeah, if
Hmm.
you're overtaken going off the track, there's a penalty for that. That's a
Yeah.
like that's too bad. Like there has to be some rule, and I guess Max has been doing this constantly.
It started all the way back in like 2021 with Lewis, right? Remember all
Yeah,
those races towards the end where he was
purple.
pushing Lewis, Brazil, Saudi, and I
Yeah,
don't know what
everywhere.
not. Everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing that a lot, and he's never got penalties, so which is strange. And even Lando's getting to know that now that he's in a title fight with him, as to how
I
hard
mean,
it is
if
to.
you see how you should see when Charles and Max are racing, right? Charles knows exactly what Max does, right? And
Yeah,
Charles handles him very well. Like if Charles was in the same situation as Lando was, he would have braked earlier and did the old switcheroo, which I mean Charles has done that in the past with Max. He just
yeah.
he just switches his line and you know kind of beats Max that way. I think Lando is still learning, right? I mean, that how to race with Max, right? Lando's like, no man, I'll keep going on the outside. I'll go off the track and then I'll cry like a baby.
It's gonna just be nothing, just a range.
Incident.
Yeah, this is all time quoted comment from Leclerc.
This is what Verstappen was Leclerc only, right? They had the karting
Yeah, yeah,
incident.
yeah. It was, in
Yeah,
go
the
karting,
cartoon.
So
they
you
both
see how
crashed.
it goes back to Verstappen and karting. It's been that long, and he's still not got a penalty. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
yeah, it just that. Yeah, I think. I mean, all the F1 grades have been kind of ruthless at some level. But yeah, I think
mm.
Max just takes it to another level. Max is like, I will not care where you are. I'm keeping my track position. If I have to bang into you and end my race, I'll make sure both of us leave the race.
exactly, correct.
Remember,
Lewis
which was
Hamilton is this firsthand.
where they both crashed?
What are you saying?
What was it? Austria where they both crashed? Lando and
Austria,
Max.
Austria, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Austria,
yeah.
Austria.
And then Lando had to exit. Max got away with just changing his front
yeah,
wing, right?
Yeah,
yeah. So, but again, coming back to the Ferraris, good job, Charles Leclerc, good job, Carlos Sainz securing that 1-2 after I don't know how long they got a
yeah.
1-2 Ferrari. and they
I mean,
look like they
they
can.
had one in Australia this year.
Sorry,
They had a 1-2 in Australia, right?
yeah, Australia
Yeah.
was like what 15 races ago, right?
Hey,
So
come on.
that's a long time now.
It's the same season,
It's at
man.
least the
Come on.
same
It's just
season.
season.
Same
Same
season,
season.
but a season which we thought Ferrari would challenge Red Bull, and McLaren is challenging Red Bull, right? So that's the reason.
Yeah.
I don't think so, man. After last season, I don't think anybody thought Ferrari was going to challenge Red Bull.
I mean, I thought
Ouch.
they would.
That
Ouchie,
was
ouch.
early 22 when Ferrari was challenging Red Bull.
Yeah, but good job again, Ferrari. They look like they can
Yeah,
finish the season strong, just in time for Lewis Hamilton's arrival. So I'm happy in that sense. So that
yeah.
works
Fred
out.
is cooking. Saint Fred is cooking. Saint Fred is
Saint Fred is
cooking.
cooking just in time for Lewis's arrival, the GOAT's arrival.
Yep.
To all Ferrari fans who thought Ferrari would be challenging Red Bull.
I never thought that this year, man. I'm honestly surprised the team is doing this well.
I mean, yeah, dude, like right? Like obviously, McLaren with all their upgrades that they bought in, like they were the top contenders for champion. I think they're gonna probably win drive constructors championship
Yeah.
because of the awesomeness of Checo Perez.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, driver championship is like
Yep.
still looking like Max
It's
Verstappen's
it's
because he
looking
still has.
bleak now, right?
Yeah, it's like Lando has to now win, and probably Max would need a DNF or something of that sort.
I agree. Yeah.
Because
No,
if
And I
man.
this
No.
doubt that's
continues, right?
happening. There,
You
there
know
was,
what
this
can
was
happen,
supposed to be
bro?
a race where Lando was supposed to take points off Verstappen and not the other way around.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
and Lando and Max finished ahead of Lando in both the sprint as well as the race.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So this was a.
the lead now is 57 points, the gap between Max and Lando.
Hmm.
We have 5 races left and a couple of sprints.
Mhm.
Assuming Lando wins all of them, get fastest points, and Max comes second, even still that won't be enough for Lando to win.
Yeah, he
Uh,
probably needs a max DNF sort of a
but
situation.
hey, Max is not DNFing without taking Lando out, man. Come on, we know that about Max.
ये आप क्रोनोलॉजी समझिए.
So
Unless there's an engine problem or something.
I think what is more probable is Max, takes Landa out in a couple of races. Leclerc wins a couple of races. Suddenly, Abu Dhabi, it's like a three-way fight for the title.
Yeah, and the funny part is they all get into a racing incident, and Georgie Boy, for some reason, wins Abu
Georgie boy,
Dhabi.
but
No, 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 wait.
George,
No, wait. No. Georgie
Not
Boy won't
necessarily
win
win
because
them all.
Hamilton again would meet Russell, and probably finish ahead of him. So Abu
Oh,
Dhabi is won by Lewis Hamilton.
yeah, exactly. What will happen
swan
is
song race.
these three get an incident and exit, and then
Huh.
Russell goes in the lap, and then Lewis and Sainz fight like I'm the better Ferrari driver. No, I'm the better Ferrari driver.
Yeah, anything's possible. The best part is like anything is possible in Abu Dhabi. It's not all last year, right? Every race won by Max. So now there's some
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
fun. Fun is back in Formula One.
Yeah, I think apart from at the top, yeah. So I have a question for you guys. Um, Coming back to the race, right? Let's move on from Ferrari.
Mhm.
Before we go to McLaren, right? Let's talk about Red Bull first, and I'm not talking about Max Verstappen. I'm
Mhm.
talking about man. It's hard to even call him the Mexican Minister of Defense when he finishes eighth in a race,
Yeah,
or
dude.
seventh
He's
rather.
defending that position. He's defending that position.
Yeah, but my question is, we kind of know why Red Bull
Mhm.
continues to tolerate Sergio, right? He brings in a lot of money, right? Mexico's richest man is Carlos Slim. He is Sergio Perez's sponsor, right? And he pays Red Bull a cool. I don't know. I think the numbers are not confirmed, but their reports say around 50 to 100 million dollars every season. That's the amount of sponsorship that Red Bull gets from Carlos Slim, right? And if they
Mm.
lose, if they take Perez out, obviously they lose that money, right? But
Also,
also,
Liberty
but also
Media
they
loses presence, no? Also, Liberty Media loses presence in South America.
Yeah, I don't think Red Bull cares what Liberty Media cares, right? I don't think anybody cares what Liberty Media thinks. All the teams hate them. But no, I think what happens is so Red Bull, I mean, they're most probably finishing third this season, right? With Ferrari's resurgence,
Yeah.
right?
Mm,
So, I
They don't
mean,
care about the constructors anyway.
mm.
does anybody know what's the delta in prize money between first and third? Is it more than 50 million?
I guess it's a
I
steep
don't know.
10 million delta.
What's that?
10 million delta, I said.
Yeah, exactly. So, right, so that's not going to hurt Red Bull 10 million. And also,
And
Red
they
Bull
get
in a
more wind
weird
tunnel
way,
time for next season, so it actually
exactly,
helps them.
right? Their driver wins the drivers' championship. They come third in constructors, so they get more wind tunnel time compared to their rivals.
Exactly.
Especially for 2026, they even need even more wind tunnel time because of new regs. So maybe
Yeah.
next year they tell Sergio just crash out every race, man. No,
Yeah,
but I
man.
mean, no,
So
I mean, regardless, yeah, I mean, yeah, still the question is like, assuming Red Bull is a serious team and they want to win the constructors title, how long will they continue to tolerate Sergio Perez, right? I mean, Red Bull is known for being famously
ruthless.
ruthless with their
Ruthless.
drivers,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
just to
just
bring
20
in the
million. Yeah,
prize money. That's the prize money thing.
I
yeah,
mean
20 million is
the problem is there's no other option right now that they see is viable enough, right? They don't want to put Liam Lawson
Excuse
or
me.
Daniel Ricciardo. Sorry?
hey.
Exactly. Exactly. Kick. I'm a high performance athlete. I sweat.
No, they don't want to put Liam Lawson or Ricardo or anyone in the car right now. They still
No, no,
think
no.
Checo is
Ricardo
better
is
than them.
finished. Let's not talk about Ricardo. Ricardo is finished. His career is done. He's not
Yeah,
going anywhere.
and
Even
they didn't,
Audi is
that's why
not
they didn't
taking him.
consider him, right? Who else they cannot put anybody
But
else in that second seat.
they can. I think Sunoda or Lawson would be a good
No,
shout ahead
I
of
don't think they
Perez, man.
trust Sunoda. I don't think they trust Sunoda. I think they still think Perez will do a better job than Yuki in the
But what about
races.
Liam? Dude walks in and
I,
just casually finishes ninth in a shit car.
I don't think they want to put Liam this early in the Red Bull. So maybe next season, sometime in the middle of next season, they might do that, if
Yeah,
at
not
all.
this season, but I think next season. Next season, will we see? Will I mean,
We'll see
Perez
Checo start the season
start the
again, I
season?
feel, next season.
Perez will probably start the season in the Red Bull, but is he
Yeah.
finishing 2025 in a Red Bull? Right?
Next
He's
season, they
not.
might be ruthless towards Checo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I don't know how
Because
long
next
they'll continue
season,
to
if
tolerate, right?
Ferrari also shows up, if McLaren shows up, if Mercedes somehow show up, then they'll have a bigger fight
Yeah.
on
Exactly.
their hands. And they will
Yeah,
not be
yeah.
in a situation where Max has won the initial 7 races and got like a 80-point lead. That won't
I
Yeah.
happen.
mean,
That's not gonna
Then they
happen.
need a good second driver.
Perez is already behind the other seven drivers, right? If Lewis didn't crash out of the race, Perez would be eighth. Like, there's no two ways
Mm.
about it, right?
Yeah.
And Hulkenberg was just 4 seconds behind Perez, man. He's in a
Yeah,
stupid
man.
Haas. The
In a
Hulk is in
hat.
a and the Hulk is in a Haas, and he's just 4 seconds behind Sergio Perez.
Yeah.
That
In
Haas
the
is a joke.
fastest car. In the second fastest
Exactly.
car.
That Haas is
Exactly.
a joke, right? That Haas is a joke. Like on one
Yeah.
hand, you have Max Verstappen, where even Lando Norris with fresher tires and a better car, like
Mm.
struggles to overtake him, right? Okay. I mean, forget about that, incident in the second last lap. Even before that, Max was defending very well, right? I mean, Lando
Yeah.
was really struggling to overtake Max. Max had worse tires, Max had a
Mm.
worse car, but still Max was placing that car so well. Like every other overtake you see was like such a joke on that back straight, right? Like it was such a
I
long
don't know.
straight and DRS was so effective and people are just like voting for fun on that straight. But here is
Yeah.
Max.
Exactly.
He was holding Lando off for so many laps. I mean, sure, at the end, Max became Max and just ran Lando off the track. But we
Yeah,
saw for
man.
like a good 6-7 laps, Lando was being frustrated so much by Max, right?
Yeah.
And then here you have Sergio Perez who barely overtook the Haas in the closing stages of that race. A stupid Haas, man. Like, like what is this? Like at this point, I think in Mexico City, Liam Lawson will finish ahead of Sergio Perez.
I think Sergio will have a good race in Mexico, which is what I'm thinking, because that is the only race which he can salvage his pride in. He's gonna give it his all, I feel. I don't know. He's got something in reserve probably for Mexico. If he doesn't, then I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. But yeah, talking about Red Bull, Alabe and Aniket, how good is Liam Lawson, man?
yeah, man.
First race
I mean,
after a year.
I feel it's a beginner's luck sort of a thing.
For,
Let's see how he performs in the like the following races.
sure, sure. But I mean, we saw even last season, right? He raced in just 2 or 3 races and he was very impressive
Yeah.
last season.
Yeah.
he
Even
And
definitely
Colapinto,
is
right? For the
an
Mercedes.
impressive driver. Definitely is an
yeah.
impressive driver. An upgrade to Ricardo for sure at this stage of at that stage of Ricardo's
Dude,
career.
like,
So
the point is, right? The new drivers in both, right? Racing Bulls and Williams are outperforming the existing drivers. So yeah,
Oh
that
yes,
says
yes.
that they're more hungry, they're more energetic, and they are like more willing to go that extra distance to
hmm,
like cement their seat for the next season, and they want to show their
hmm.
value and worth. So yeah, man, it's like, but yeah, it's also right more like I feel it's the initial adrenaline. I want to see
I
how
agree.
they perform like in the coming races. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Liam Lawson definitely is in with a shout. He's got like 5 more races to show his worth now. So if
Hmm.
he consistently performs and gets into the top 10 in every race, then Red Bull definitely will have to look at putting him in the seat sometime next season. So
Yeah, man. If
Yeah.
Sergio
definitely,
Perez continues to struggle, right, the way he has been struggling, definitely then.
Sergio Perez might have the last 5 races of his Red Bull career right
Yeah,
now.
could be, could be.
So could be.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. But yeah, since Alabia, you brought Williams up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's talk about Williams, and more specifically, let's
Hmm.
talk about Colapinto, right? This
Yeah.
guy just casually beats Alex Albon, man. Like what? He's like, I don't care how good a driver you are, I don't care who you are, I'm just going to beat
Yeah.
you fair and square. Like Alex Albon was 16th, man, and this guy was 10th. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think all weekend he was pretty good, right? Like even in the
He
sprint,
was.
Yeah. He
Colapinto
was.
finished 12th, Albon finished 17th, right?
Hmm.
Uh, Sprint qualifying, Colapinto finished 10th. He was in the top 10. He went to SQ3. Alex Albon out in SQ1, right? And
Hmm.
even the qualifying, I think, was he ahead? Okay, he was just behind
Hmm.
by 1/100th of a second. He was behind Albon, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I mean, obviously, next season, I mean, we do know that it's Albon and Carlos Sainz who are racing for Williams,
Hmm.
and I think Carlos Sainz seat is obviously safe, right? Sainz is, I mean,
Yeah.
we can safely say that Sainz is a much better driver than either of them. But
Hmm.
my question is, I mean, who's the Williams guy? James Vowles, right? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's no stranger to being ruthless with drivers in the Red Bull
Yeah.
style, right?
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
is Albon starting 2025 in a Williams, or is it, or will we see some? I mean, if okay, let's assume Colapinto continues to put in good performances in the remaining 5 races, right? We have five
Hmm.
races and 2 sprints remaining, and assuming Colapinto, I don't know, finishes ahead of Albon, it's like 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5
Hmm.
races, right? Is is James Walls like, man, Albon is just Logan Sargent in with a better name. I'm gonna kick Albon out and uh, take Colapinto
Yeah,
instead,
man.
right?
I mean, it's going to be a very huge bump, right? See, there's no like if you look at Williams and what do you call RB, right? There's about like almost half a point difference. Now they know that Haas and RB are in a touching distance, but if Williams can score more points over the next 5 races than RB, there are there good enough chances that hey, and if even if they're in the next 5 races, your Colapinto scores majority of the points for Williams, right? I feel he's gonna stay. Wherein Alex Albon could be
Hmm.
sacked and then he could be made available for Red Bull second seat.
That'll be a crazy story if that happens.
Yeah, when insane,
Like
right?
the whole Akshay
Man, he's not
Kumar,
gonna
the
Either
whatever
is
he
a
does. Yeah, I say no. I mean, but
Alex Albon,
definitely
Checo Perez.
James Falls is going to have a big decision because it does seem like Colapinto is like capable of performing at this level. He's done it
Hmm.
over so many different tracks now. So now you have a conundrum because Carlos Sainz is coming next season to Williams, and
Yeah.
you'll have Sainz, Colapinto, and Albon. And if
Hmm.
Colapinto is finishing above Albon in every race, then there's no reason that you need to get rid of him.
Yeah,
If you get rid of
not
him,
just
then you
that,
might lose him
not just that,
for a long time.
outscoring
Yeah,
him
yeah.
pretty well, right? That's also the next factor that I would look at. And
Yeah,
yeah, man, like no, it's like a good problem to have, right? That hey,
it
you have
is.
two drivers who are fighting for the spot. We know that we got to put Carlos Sainz because obviously he's like obviously better than the other two.
Yeah.
Now who do I pick? and that's a good spot to be in. Alex Albon, if he's not getting a seat, he could be a reserve driver for Williams. It's
That'll be
like,
crazy though.
yeah,
Imagine losing your seat to like a rookie who's
rookie.
just come in, who's just a placeholder driver. He doesn't even have a contract for next season. So imagine
Exactly.
Yeah,
losing a seat to him.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be insane. The next 5 races, right? That's why now Formula One is back to being interesting. Like last season, nah. This season, yes.
Second half of this season, especially, has been very good.
Yeah.
yeah,
There's been so many different teams involved and so
Hmm.
many different young drivers getting opportunities now. So that's good.
Yeah, man.
yeah. I think what helped was Red Bull doing a Ferrari and completely messing their development.
Yeah, man.
I
That's
think they hit a development wall, right? Like, I mean, they've been in the third year of this regulation
Right, right.
cycle. So,
Yeah, but I
so
think
no.
also
definitely
in
other teams
general,
have more scope to develop.
So
not
no, no,
just
no.
that.
So,
If you look at the lap times, right? If you look at the lap times this season, they've been very, very close, right? Like,
Hmm.
if you look at say 2019 or 2020, it was very normal for in qualifying for the 20th car to be like 4 seconds behind or something, right?
hmm.
But if you look at qualifying now, it's very, very close, right? I mean, if I look at the qualifying grid,
Yeah,
who was pole? Lando, right? Come on,
Lando by
reference, right?
what 2/10 or like no half a tenth of a
Yeah.
second or
So
something like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you
man.
just look at right, if you just look at Q1 when all 20 drivers took part, right?
Hmm.
Who was first? Max Verstappen. Yeah, Max Verstappen was first with 133.0, and 20th was Joe Guan Yu with 134.2. There's 1.2 seconds. That's like a
Hmm.
big reduction in the gap compared to previous seasons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so I think
I mean,
cars have become much closer, and yeah, I think Red Bull just struggling to echo that last few percentage points of performance, which McLaren got it right.
it's also a function of them not having the money to put into what you call development,
Yeah.
right? I think Christian Horner issued the statement that due to the crashes that Checo have had, and like Max, right, a few of those, they've run out of money for any sort of development for this season, and they're focusing on the car next season. So yeah, that's also a
Yeah, yeah,
factor. When the other teams
I mean, they
played,
just need to
hmm,
survive like five more races, and I think they ultimately will survive that because Lando Norris is not good enough to compete
yeah,
for a championship. Unfortunately, keeps making
yeah.
mistakes. Keep doesn't has never started well from pole position. Always
yeah,
loses
man,
places. So
he's
yeah,
Arsenal dude. Starts on the top, but finishes second,
finishes this time. What finishes fourth?
fourth now.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
even all through the race, commentators were like, "Oh, Oscar Piastri is not consistent. He needs to get better. Lando is the number one." But end of
Hmm.
the race, where was Oscar Piastri?
Hmm.
Fine. I mean, Lando had a 5 second penalty, but still just 6 seconds behind, right? Like
Yeah,
Oscar
Yeah.
man.
was much behind in the early stages of the race. Of course, with the penalty, it feels like Oscar is just 1.6 behind, but there was a penalty. But still, just what
Hmm.
6.5 seconds behind, and you're like a second season rookie, and your partner driver is supposed to be like the undisputed number one, and what you're just 6 seconds behind him. Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, this was probably Oscar's worst race of the season. I mean, what finished fifth, just behind Lando.
yeah, and
Yeah,
again,
I mean,
again, he's a second season rookie, right? He's not as experienced as Lando. How long has Lando been in the sport, man? What is it, fifth or sixth season for him?
Yeah, he came
yeah,
in he came in 2018, so sixth
Yeah,
season.
didn't Lando hold also records before he won his first race of longest streak of a top
Yes,
driver,
yes,
hmm.
yes.
Yeah, man.
longest podiums without winning a race and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's like Lando, right? Like I think he made a comment on Hamilton that hey, Hamilton, the ones the races that he won had the fastest car and he should have won all that bullshit. Now he has the same
Now,
car. It's
yeah,
just the inability of his like skills who are not. He's not
yeah,
performing. That's like Uno reverse on him, dude. Like hey, you got the best car
exactly.
out there. You got a
It's
rocket
easy to
ship.
yeah,
talk, right? It's easy to
Yeah,
yeah.
talk
It's
of
easy.
the drivers like Lando, and he never back it up. So he's gonna be one of those drivers probably. Just talks
yeah.
and never backs it up.
Yeah, that's the thing with Lando, right? I mean, yeah. So he came to the sport in 2019 to have fun, right? So this is sixth season, right? I mean, and
2019.
this
Okay.
is the sixth
Hmm.
season, right? And yeah, I mean, if a second season rookie is kind of handing your ass to you, like we've had multiple races this season where Oscar was clearly the better driver,
Yeah.
right? We
And
had,
if it
I mean,
and if it weren't for the team orders, right, Oscar would have won a couple of
exactly,
races.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like Aniket was saying, right, Lando is like, oh yeah, Max had the best car last season, Lewis had the best car before him. But I mean, we have seen plenty of times when the guy with the best car doesn't necessarily win the title, right?
Mm.
A lot is up to the driver. Like whether you take Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton, even Sebastian Vettel, they were
Hmm.
generational talents who back their talent up with winning races, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, like yeah, I mean, sure, Lando has the best car now. I mean,
Hmm.
that really doesn't matter, right? Like you
Yeah.
still got to win, you still got to put that car ahead. And if you can't overtake your rival who has 10 laps older tires, and you struggle to overtake him with a stupidly long DRS straight, right?
Yeah. Where
Yeah, I
everyone
mean,
else
like,
is able to, everyone else is able to overtake.
exactly. And you have like your mini DRS, all your cheating devices on your car, and you still can't overtake him.
Yeah.
Ouch, ouch. It
But
hurts me.
I'll give some sympathy to Lando because the FIA was on Max's side like usual. So yeah, sympathies for Lando there. But yeah, he sure definitely got the move done
Yeah,
without
I
having
mean,
to
even if
waste so many
yeah, like
laps.
even if you had come third, man, that was not a convincing drive. Like even if you didn't get the
Exactly.
penalty, it
Yeah.
was not a
Yeah.
convincing drive at all. That like Max was really struggling on his tires, right? Like
Mm.
we saw after Lando overtook him, he quickly fell back to like three
Fell
three
back.
and a half seconds. In
Mm.
Mm.
2 laps, he was like 4 seconds behind Lando, right? So
Mm.
yeah, Max really drove the hell out of the car. And I mean we've been seeing the time and again, right? We just compare Max and Checo over the last 2 seasons, right?
Yeah. Almost
Like
technically the same car.
exactly. Like even last season, Max and Checo had the same car. Checo
Hmm.
struggled to finish races, struggled to come in the top five, and Max was just winning every race with 30 seconds of fun, right? Max literally, like,
Yeah.
except Singapore, he, like, he, and couple of races which Perez won in the beginning out of
Yeah,
luck.
I
I
mean,
mean,
take any street circuit for that instance.
yeah, like, Max could have easily won all 23 races last season, right? Or just to, like, like, that was how dominant the season Max had. And look at Perez,
Yeah.
barely, uh, well, he was not second, right? Did he barely finish second or something last season? Who was second? I think it was Lewis who came second, right? At the end?
Uh, F1.
When was this? Which what race are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about last season. Who finished second in the standings?
Second, Lewis Hamilton.
Exact. Oh, no,
Oh,
it was
no,
so
no,
no, it
no,
was
no. No,
Lewis
it
was
was
third.
Max, Perez, and Hamilton. Remember, Perez and
Okay,
Hamilton were
Perez
fighting
was
for
there,
second.
current.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, look at the gap between Perez and Max, man. Like, what is that? 400 points. Like, what is that? Like, literally, Max was the
Bring in
best
those
on his.
numbers. This is last
Max almost.
year's driver standings. Yeah.
Yeah, Max won the title on his own. Mercedes had 400 points and Max had 575 points. Max won the freaking constructors title on his own. Right? He would have won the title
Yeah.
without a second. So that, I mean, yeah, it's not just the dominant car. And Lando always chats a lot of shit. Uh,
Yeah.
he's known
No,
for that.
all shit, no substance.
Yeah, basically.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, let's go to Aniket's team, Mercedes. What the hell is going on?
I don't know.
I
They
mean,
just had one of
George
the
had a
worst
brilliant
weekends
drive.
ever.
No. I mean, it's funny, right? George had a brilliant drive,
Yeah.
right? He
Both.
started in the lane, finished sixth.
Mm.
But I mean, on the other hand, what happened to Lewis's car? I mean, obviously it was not his mistake. He's not like some Nikita Mazepin who will just spin out on the third
No,
lap into the grass,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So
He
I
no,
said
mean,
it
what?
was the
car
issue with the
lost
car
rear
and
down- yeah, the car lost rear downforce. That's what the Merc debrief said.
mm.
So yeah, and like we even saw a few drivers spin right on that turn.
No,
I
George
think
also beached the car. He had a crash in qualifying right at the same corner where Lewis had
yeah,
beached his car. So
like I
Mercedes
think it's
got
a function of
something fundamentally wrong with that car this weekend, and they could not fix it. They had a good
hmm,
Friday. George and Lewis both had a good sprint quali, and the sprint
hmm,
race was very bad. And then the whole weekend went down. And Lewis, I was out in Q1 of quali, and
hmm.
George crashed in Q3. Then
Yeah,
yeah, then after that, whatever, the story wrote itself. So
Yeah, man.
only
yeah. It's funny how Mercedes season has been, man. You think Ferraris is bad, Mercedes is bipolar. Like they'll
yeah.
be
Yeah,
winning winning Silverstone and almost winning Spa, right?
They won
And
Silverstone, Belgium, and just before the summer break, everyone was like, "Oh, we are back. Mercedes is back." And then after that, it's been a
Boom.
downhill
How
and
can
so
you beat that?
chaotic.
It's
like
just,
their Red Bull is crying because they went from first to fourth in a race, and here Mercedes like we can't even finish.
dude,
Yeah,
sounds like Man United, dude.
I know. Similar.
Similar
Yeah,
stories.
it's very confusing season for them. I have no idea how they're going to be prepped for next season. Also, with Lewis going
Yeah,
out, it's going to be even more challenging. And they're
Yeah,
going to have their entire reliance on George Russell being number one, which is very scary for, I
yeah,
don't know,
because
Mercedes
we
fans
really
next
bad
season.
at tire management. That's something that we've seen. Man, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
man.
He
I
was so
mean,
bad in the sprint race that he couldn't, like, manage his tires for 18 laps. So, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't think George Russell is that good a driver. He's
Hmm.
probably like Lando, I would say.
I would
Ah,
say he's on the
Overhyped.
same level as Lando. Correct.
Yeah, overhyped.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think if Kimi rapidly develops the new Kimi, I think Mercedes will probably bin George Russell, and because Sainz
bring
is
in
probably
what Max
available.
Verstappen.
I think Max Verstappen might be available depending on how they do next season. So they'll definitely keep an eye out for that. But
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, I mean, there are
it
also
will be
other drivers.
interesting.
Science is also on the market. He'll probably have a clause in his contract which says if Mercedes or any top team call comes knocking on
Yeah.
my door, then I'll leave or something. Probably something along those lines. That
Right.
could
Right.
Let's
happen.
see. Man.
Yeah, but
So,
looking at Williams' pace of development, Williams itself might become a top team soon. They are just going from
yeah,
strength to strength.
Yeah.
I mean, if Pinto can get them points, so imagine what Carlos Sainz can do in that car, right?
Yep. I agree.
yeah, man. So on this note, right? Weekend to forget for Mercedes. Weekend to cherish for Ferrari. A weekend so for Red Bull. And what is got this weekend for like McLaren?
Regret.
McLaren, regretful weekend, a lost weekend for them. Another lost weekend.
Another lost
Yeah.
weekend. या
Yep.
फिर ये तो हर weekend का ही है.
Any notable
But
shout outs to anyone before like we start previewing the next race in a bit?
yeah,
In
what the hell is going on at Aston Martin?
Aston Martin,
Let's not talk
I
about
think
it.
that Alonso is just complaining like recklessly every race, and I'm tired of that. So I have
See,
no idea what's going there. He was
the
complaining
relevancy
all
of
race
Aston
about
Martin is gone.
Liam Lawson or somebody. Liam
Yeah,
Lawson. He called
yes, yes.
her Visa Cash App Alpha Tauri again.
Hey, that you can't blame him, man. It's hard to keep up with the name changes.
Yeah, dude, just too funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but
but not good, man. Aston Martin, like next season might be better for them because of the arrival of Adrian Newey and stuff. So we just have to look forward for next season.
Yeah.
yeah, but at this point, it feels like, especially Lance Stroll on the team, Adrian Newey might just be lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, man. Let's see.
Yeah.
They
But yeah,
definitely need better
Gasly had
drivers,
another
though.
good race. Gasly had another good race. Not in the points. He was briefly in the points, but he finished
Mm,
12th. I think Alpine will have some hope that
mm,
they're going in the right direction.
Hmm.
Who are the drivers next
mm.
season? Gasly and who else? Do you
Gasly
remember?
and Ocon is not there anymore, right? I think
Yeah.
Alpine have not signed anyone yet, right?
No, I think they signed somebody, right? I'm just trying to
Theo
look it
Porsche?
up.
No, no,
No,
Theo Porsche.
they
I
haven't
forgot.
signed yet. They
It's
Yeah, they
haven't
Jack
haven't
signed yet.
signed
Doohan.
anyone yet.
No, no, Jack Doohan. It's a rookie.
Oh, they signed Jack Doohan. Okay, okay. We almost.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
it's a
so long
rookie
back.
signing.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the reserve driver now, right? Jack Doohan.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, let's move on to Mexico. What's the predictions for Mexico?
Checo Perez, pole position, win by 50 seconds.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm becoming a billionaire the next week.
We hitting 10K subscribers tomorrow.
No, instead of predictions, let's say what is one bold prediction. So like I'm going for Checo Perez podium.
I'm going for a Lewis Hamilton podium.
Okay.
Why not Ferrari?
What? We didn't hear that.
Ferrari.
Something Ferrari you said. I didn't hear that
Who can
again.
do it? Italian. 1-2 Ferrari.
1-2
One to
Ferrari. That's not bold, right? That could be normal now with how
no,
the
it'll
car
be
is.
normal.
Normal. I'm not that optimistic yet.
Normale. And how they would say in Italy. Normale.
Normal.
Oh, saying so
I
your
think,
bold take is back to back 1-2s for Ferrari. Okay. Got it.
yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, if we stop memeing, I think my bold take is going to be the rookies outperform their partners again.
Okay.
Mm. That's a good one. Like that's what I'm actually that'll make it more interesting, right? If this happens again and we see a pattern of these rookies outperforming their partners and like with a solid enough difference, that's gonna be interesting to watch.
Yeah, totally.
Hmm. I think we'll definitely get a Mexico GP preview in like say coming up maybe Friday or Saturday. Just an
Yeah,
in-depth preview. If you get some
Yeah,
more
yeah.
news on any other penalties or any drivers taking new engine or
Mm-hmm.
something.
yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah, but it's another normal race weekend, no sprints.
yeah, no sprint.
The second leg of a triple header. So after Mexico, we have Interlagos, which is another sprint weekend.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to that race a lot.
Yep. Interlagos will be another epic race, man. Interlagos is always
Yeah.
epic.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
who knows, the championship could be decided in this race. If Lando DNFs and Max, finishes top three, then I
yeah.
think that'll be like a
Yeah.
65, 70 point lead. And yeah, he's not going to lose that.
Yeah,
Who
that's hard
knows?
to
Yeah.
take up. But
But
yeah,
if,
again,
If
I
Max
remember
DNFs and Lando wins, then we have the
that's not
championship back on.
happening.
Then
Ma-
that's
Ma-
gonna be fun.
Max is not DNFing without taking out Lando. If Max goes, Lando
Organic
goes.
circumstances, natural circumstances. The
Max will
engine gives
ensure
up.
out of the race.
Okay, I'm guessing if the engine gives up, Max will just drive Checo's car and Checo will be like sitting on the sidelines.
or he'll just crash into Lando while driving slow.
Yeah,
Like, oops, racing incident, as my friend Leclerc said.
yeah. Let's say Max engine blows up, he'll just position himself at a blind corner and wait for Lando to bang it.
Yeah, dude, the stadium section that's there, right? That entire
Yeah.
section to the grandstands and all. Insane. Could
Yep.
happen. Super
Right
fun,
there.
But
man.
also, since this is a street circuit, I think Ferrari will have another strong race. They've been very strong in street circuits this year, and I think we have three street circuits left, right? We have this one, Mexico. We have Vegas, and I think it's Doha street circuit as well.
No, dude, it's a
Doha is
proper
not
race.
no, it's
Okay,
not street circuit. No.
okay.
But Sergio
Yeah,
And
Perez
yeah,
is also all good on
last
street circuits.
Vegas is a nightmare for Ferrari, though.
what's that?
Vegas is a nightmare for Ferrari because of the Carlos
No,
Sainz.
Vegas.
Dude, last year
Ferrari.
Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, but sure. I mean, Leclerc almost won the damn race last year, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, winning is different. Like, it's gonna bring in hard memories, right?
Yeah. The
Penalty and
stupid lane
all.
cover, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, the drain cover. But we'll see
Yeah,
when Vegas comes.
yeah, but
Yep.
I think Vegas, even last season when Ferrari were not that strong, they did very well in Vegas. They really aced those conditions.
yeah, man. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah,
On that
let's
note,
Mexico. I think it's going to be another. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good weekend for Ferrari, and we will see the usual Max and Lando scrap again.
Hmm.
Yeah, remains to
meanwhile,
be seen if
yeah,
Max takes out Lando.
meanwhile, Ferrari takes the scrap. Like, yeah, let them fight. Ferrari, like, okay, let's go through. Through goes Ferraris.
Yep.
That might happen
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
All right, guys.
Cool. On
We
that
will.
note,
Yep. We will see you again before the race if something interesting happens. Otherwise, we'll see you next week after the race, where we will review Mexico City.
yes.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. Cue Mexican music.
Yeah. Arriba.
Okay. Yeah. Before we leave, I just saw one piece of news which I think would be interesting.
Okay.
Um, Well, actually, two. One thing is going to be Alonso's 400th race start, the boomer. But the other thing is that FP1 Mercedes is actually going to send in Kimi Antonelli in FP1 in Mexico.
Just like how they did
So
in
Interesting.
that's
Italy. Hopefully, Anthony
Whose
does
car is
not
yeah,
that,
crash
right?
the car, but this
Yeah,
time
yeah, Georgie or Lewis's. Lewis's
Lewis
probably.
is sitting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
nice.
Lewis is sitting. Obviously, Lewis is sitting, man. He's leaving the team.
You're like, जो करना है करो.
He's exactly in that mindset now. So yeah,
Yeah.
even I'm in that mindset. So don't blame
हाँ.
me.
Every Lewis fan is like, सह लेंगे थोड़ा.
सह लेंगे भाई ठीक है. Just next season, please
Like,
come
we are
fast.
not
That's it.
Ferrari fans. Ferrari जीतो.
Exactly. Ferrari जीतो 1-2 लो हर race में. I'll be very happy.
Someone
Exactly.
actually pointed this out, right? Hey, I think it's a genius move from Lewis.
You never know. He is known for making genius moves like in
Yeah,
2014 or
yeah,
Yeah, he moved to
McLaren
2013.
was
Mercedes at the time as well, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
joined McLaren when they were good. So yeah.
Enjoy McLaren when they're good. Recognize that Ron Dennis is a dumpster fire and jump to Mercedes.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, on that note, let's call
Yeah.
it the stream.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much for
Well,
joining in and see you pre or post Mexico GP. Thank you. Good
yeah.
night.
Arriba.
Arriba.
Arriba.